Good evening or good morning, depending on wherever you are. And welcome to today's webinar, where we are going to discuss about the tactics or ways you can use to boost conversion in your digital advertising. I hope you have been well. I hope you're keeping well. We've just started the month of February. It's a month of love, and hope from wherever you are keeping safe. And hope January was also a good month for you. So I can see people are streaming in. Continue streaming as you join us. You can also comment on the comment section. Tell us where you're watching us from. It would really help us to know and to be able to interact with you more and more and more. So as I previously said, today we are going to be discussing about how to boost low conversions in digital advertising, and it's going to be an engaging and interactive sessions. We have questions that are already pre-streamed, and also we encourage you to ask your questions through the comment section. Feel free to interact with us. And yes, so I will be your host, and my name is Caleb Mutemi, and I am the content lead at Digital for Africa. And I've been there for quite some time. Digital for Africa is a company and marketing agency that is based in Nairobi, Kenya. We have our offices in Westlands. Hello, all. I can see Catherine, who has joined us from Kenya. Welcome, Catherine. It's a pleasure to have you. Yes, and as I was saying, Digital for Africa is a digital agency that is based in Nairobi, Kenya. We help with various services, and you can feel free to visit our website. Let me post the link in the comment section. You can visit our website and interact with our website and see what it is that we do from time to time. Majorly, our services can be grouped into three sessions. We usually have trainings, and these trainings are for various things. We have training for web design classes, we have training for masterclass training, and our masterclass is upcoming next week. I believe my colleague will speak more about it. And also, we have training in data analytics and many more. To interact more and know which other trainings we offer, you can follow the link in the comment section. Apart from training, we also offer web design development services. So, under design development, we have worked with big industries, and you can also visit our web design page to see some of the websites we have built. We have built websites for various companies, including but not limited to Jay's Wines, Apple Center, and many more. Last but not least, we usually offer consultation services, and our consultation services is for those. I can see Anita has joined us. Hey, Anita, thank you for joining us. Yes, Anita is my fellow co-worker at Digital for Africa. She deals with our content development. Yes, right now we are seeing. Okay, those who have currently joined us, you can comment in the comment section below and tell us where you're joining us from and what you would expect from this webinar. As I've mentioned, we are going to discuss how to improve our conversions and how to make your conversions convert into the digital world. So yes, welcome. I was introducing our company, and last but not least, we offer consultation and services for sales and also digital marketing. Probably you have a digital agency, or probably you have a business that you want to explore how you can make it thrive in the digital space. Feel free to book our to consult with us and book a sessions with one of our trainers to take you through. Yes, our conversation today is about conversions, and the main speaker is somebody whose specialty, I can say, is conversion. Francis Waithaka is the CEO of Digital for Africa. He has been in the industry for more than 22 years. He has served more than 100 plus companies, And apart from that, he is a father, he is a mentor, and he is someone who inspires a lot of people. And today, Francis is going to be taking us for the topic on conversions in digital marketing. So, hi, Francis, and welcome. How are you today?
I'm very well, Caleb, and thank you
Mhm.
for your good remarks, your invitation.
Yes, 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 yes. So I believe we have a number of people who are joining us live, and I had seen a comment from Catherine and other people. So you can comment on the comment section and tell us where you're watching us from. But without further ado, Francis, welcome. Please take us through how people can increase their conversions in digital advertising. Thank you.
Okay, let me know if my audio is good enough, like yours, Caleb. Is my audio
Yes,
as good as yours?
yes, your audio is
Thank you very much.
good.
So I think I want us to make it a conversation, Caleb,
Mm-hmm.
rather than a lecture.
Okay.
So I'll I will have a conversation with you, and we can look at some of the problems that businesses are going through at the moment. So I'll give a few remarks, like 5 minutes, my reflections on what I'm seeing in the year 2023, what is working, what's not working on digital, and even I'll mention a number of case studies. So just remain there and don't leave, because I don't want to really make a presentation. I want to respond to the questions, because I've seen a lot of questions that have come in. But as you pull up the questions, Caleb, I would like to
Mm-hmm.
appreciate Say So Consultancy. They have joined. That's specifically Catherine from Nairobi, Kenya. We take cognizance of the fact that you've joined us. I also have seen Brian, one of our directors and colleagues and founders of Digital for Africa, has also joined us. So we will acknowledge you when you join us, and we will answer your question when you ask. So be very, very free. I also shared, I invited some friends from a school where I studied in Thika. At that time, it was called Muranga County. Right now, I think it could be it could be Kiambu County. I'm not sure, but I'm expecting some people we studied in school together more than 23 years ago. So I will acknowledge them if they'll join. But I've also invited people who are in digital marketing who are very experienced, and they will also give us their feedback and their reflection. So before I start, and or allowing you, Caleb, to give us the kind of questions that have come in, I would just give a few remarks on how I feel businesses should do in the new year, especially because we are all aware that the economy has not been very well. And it's not a Kenyan problem, it's a global problem. So that context is very important for us to have in our mind. We have seen media houses firing their employees. We have seen tech companies like Google and Facebook and Amazon releasing their employees. Companies that you expect they have a lot of money and they are doing well. We have seen they are struggling with the sustainability and all that. So the purpose of this conversation is also to come to the reality on the ground and appreciate the context and the business environment globally, so that you are not so much hard on yourself as a marketer, as a business owner, and you feel you're doing a bad job. You're also appreciating the context that we are living in. So the first thing I wanted to, oh yes, Caleb, did you want to say something?
That's very true. I can also see Sam Dichu. He has joined us and is very, very excited and enthusiastic to learn from you.
Karibu sana, Mr. Sam Dichu, Streets Sam. That's the name he has given himself. So, Caleb, before I allow you to ask me the questions that have come in, allow me just to say the following. Number one is we have seen artificial intelligence has come into the market, especially for businesses and creatives. All of us are aware about the new chatting facility created by OpenAI. The tool is called Chat GPT. It's a tool that can increase your productivity as a marketer to create content, to even test your ideas and that kind of a thing. So I expect those types of trends and tools to be more this year. For example, I expect that Google will come back and introduce a more superior chatting application and an AI application that could be even much more superior than ChatGPT, because Google has more data than anyone in the world, and they have been doing machine learning and artificial intelligence for a very long time. So expect that area of artificial intelligence tools that can help us increase our productivity to continue growing and be very competitive. And the opportunity there is for a creative, a business owner, a designer. So to take advantage, even programmers or people who do software development, they have found some value and attraction around this tool called ChatGPT. But you can do more with it in terms of getting ideas and testing your ideas, and even getting piece of code. You know, the other day I was teaching my students how to generate some piece of code using ChatGPT and how to create a web application using the tool. But I know my colleague Brian is better than me on the tech side. But today we are not talking just about tech, we are also talking about conversions. On the side of conversions, I have seen, and I want to tell a personal experience of someone who reached out to me at the beginning of this year. We are now in February. She told me she runs a business, an online business. Of course, she sells food. She specifically, the product is cheese. And she had created a lot of Google ads with an agency that I don't want to mention. And those ads did not perform at all. In fact, I am reading her comments on my screen. She said, I did Google ads with this agency last year and it was disaster. And she says, you know what, Francis, I need conversions. And in fact, that message from this fan or this follower is the reason why we're having this conversation. And my response to her, which is also my response to all of us who have asked questions today, is that advertising is not an end by itself. You don't create an ad and expect miracles to happen. An advertisement, a digital advertisement on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn is a means to an end. And the end is the sale. So an ad or any advertising or any piece of content that you create can help you to reach that end much more quickly. If you do advertising, if you boost your content, you can be able to increase your conversions. But if your conversions are not happening, like the person I'm talking about today, what can you do? To answer this question, to be honest, I created a checklist that all of us who have joined this webinar will get as a free gift from Digital for Africa. Checklist that captures all the areas of advertising, or especially when you're creating ads, let's say Facebook or Google or Twitter or Instagram, and you want to know whether you're doing it well or wrong. So I created what I call checklists for increasing conversions per channel. So what are some of the things you can do on Facebook to increase conversions on Facebook? What are some of the things that you can do to increase conversions on Instagram? And I'll just highlight a few of them before I allow Caleb to come and actually we respond to the questions that you guys sent. So you will get this checklist. There are like 4 or 5 documents, and my colleague will send them to you via an email. If you applied to be with us today, of course, we have your email. I'm sure you fill a form, so you'll get the checklist to increase conversions in digital advertising. But because digital advertising is very broad, I have clustered them per channel. For example, what can you do to increase conversions on your landing page, on your website? So there's a checklist for increasing conversions on our website. There are checklists for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and even LinkedIn. So, but just to mention a few, just to give us a taste of what is in the checklists. This checklist is very, very updated in terms of the relevance of the information that is there. I will start by giving just a few tips. If you have a website and you want to increase conversions, what are some of the things that you need to do? Because, and why is this important? Because A website is the most powerful way of building trust for customers on a digital platform. And I want to give you an example. When we started Digital for Africa in 2014, in fact, I was telling my colleagues, some of them who maybe joined us not a long time ago, so they may not know the history of Digital for Africa. I personally used to work at a bank, a financial institution. And when I left the bank to come and start an agency, I thought I'll find a lot of business because I was creating a lot of value for the bank. So I had assumed that I will also be able to accomplish a lot with an agency. Definitely, we have done that now. But when we started, we struggled. We could not even afford to get people to join our masterclass. In fact, our first masterclass, which happened in December of 2014, we didn't get even one person attending that training. Yet when you look at right now at Digital for Africa, 8 years later, there has been a lot of transformation. As Caleb was saying, we have trained more than 105 companies in Kenya, including Nation Media Group, Unga Limited, and many others. But the journey was not easy. So I don't want to paint a rosy, perfect picture of the digital advertising space. It was learning by making mistakes, learning by teaching and sharing, learning by listening to what people are going through and trying to ask the right types of questions so that we can give them the right type of answer or advice. So our experience has been our website is a powerful tool for building trust. Remember, the biggest challenge when you're selling a product online is trust deficit. There are a lot of people who don't believe anything that is online, or whether it's on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. They don't really take it seriously until you are able to earn their trust. And the way you earn their trust is by building what we call, I normally like calling it social proof. You should have some assets that you build that build that trust. For example, a website. Having a website allows you to build that credibility. The Digital for Africa website never used to give us any leads or any conversions. For the first 2 or 3 years, we couldn't get calls by people saying, "Oh, I found your website online, and I want you to do this and that for me." The truth is, there were no customers coming online until we took a deliberate decision to start creating content, to start creating blogs, and to start optimizing that website. And then we started getting a lot of business. And one of the best case studies we have in terms of the conversion that we got from our website, excuse me, is recently we got a client which is a big government agency. They reached out to us and they said, "You know what, Digital for Africa, we want you to do this website for us." And it's a massive, one of the biggest websites in Kenya in terms of the volume of data that they control. And the truth is, when we went there to pitch, we asked them, "How did you learn about Digital for Africa? Was it from Facebook or Instagram?" They told us they found us online. They went to the website, they looked at what we have done, and then they saw what we have done, and they were persuaded that we were doing a great job and we have the capability to do a great job for them. So content played a key role in increasing conversions for us. So, and the checklist that I am actually going through right now, which you will access, the biggest point or the first point is about content clarity. Articulate what you do with a lot of clarity by explaining how your product and services will help the customer. And I think at Digital for Africa, we have been very effective at that by demonstrating the websites we've built. We've built websites for Nation, we've built websites for Africa Legal Network, one of the biggest law firms in Kenya. We've built websites for Adrian Kenya. We've built websites for Apple Center. Apple Center is actually one of the best projects we've done that has transformed the company because of their website. And actually, in terms of sales and conversions for Apple Center, a lot of sales come because of the website, the e-commerce website. So having content clarity is very, very important. Articulate what you do, and explain how the product communicates or benefits the customer. Secondly is the clarity of design. What type of design do you have for your website? Are you using high quality images that show, that makes or improves the visual appeal of your company? And then there is an issue about persuasion. My colleague Brian likes talking about it, persuasion. Have you build any persuasion elements or trust elements on your website? What have you done? If you say, I'm the best supplier of this in Kenya, no one will believe it. But you say, I have supplied my products to this government agency, or I have been able to sell my products to this number of companies or this number of businesses, and there's a way of a customer verifying your claim. So this checklist, which maybe I can share shortly for you guys to see a snippet of it, will only be sent to people who have who actually registered by filling in a form. So, and Caleb, if you are able to see it, let me know. Are you able to see that? Yes. So this document is one of the best documents I've ever created. I said, what can I do for the digital advertising in Kenya? So, and I said, I'll create some assets. And this is one of the assets I'm talking about. So this is for website. So there is another one for Instagram. There's another one for Facebook. There's another one for LinkedIn. There's another one for TikTok. And it will really help you to understand the journey that we took through as Digital for Africa, and what have we done to implement on our website that has made us to build big websites, websites that are worth more than $1 million, for example. So Caleb, I would allow you to pull the questions so that we can start answering them. I'll be referring to the checklists when you start raising the questions, citing the different specific checklists that needs to be implemented or to be followed. So you can go ahead and ask the questions, and then we can start having this I want us to have more conversational engagement rather than a lecture or just myself speaking to a camera.
That's very good, Francis. Thank you for that. If you have just joined us, just a recap of what he has shared is that you need a website, which is a very good place to convert, but also your website needs to communicate clearly. So content needs to be on top. And last but not least, you need to create your trust element in order for you to perform best and to increase conversions. But actually, before we get to the questions, Francis, I'd like you to explain out this situation, because recently there was this thing we noticed together, whereby people, let's say they have lead forms on their website, and these lead forms, people are keying in data. What would be, because I remember your phrase was that you can't replace the manpower, or there's a way you had coined it, that even if you optimize the flows in everything, you still need a human aspect, even with AI and GPT and everything. You still need AI. Can you please elaborate on that and speak something on that note?
So what I wanted to mean is that we have seen a lot of automation, marketing automation, and programmatic advertising, where an ad is served to a human being by a system. Artificial intelligence determines when this ad will be served. Should be served in the morning, and it knows the time. For example, it knows like it's an afternoon and it's very hot, so you understand about programmatic advertising. But if you want to learn more about programmatic advertising, you can reach to us at Digital for Africa and can teach you more about how programmatic ads work. Basically, you choose your designs and you create your messages, and then you set your targeting, and the ads are served automatically by a robot. We could call it an advertising technology platform, like Xkimi or Google, or even Facebook, for example. They all use programmatic advertising. So we noted the other day at Digital for Africa, an RFP came into our inbox, and it actually went directly to the spam folder rather than to the normal inbox. So, and it is you, Caleb, actually who discovered the RFP had come, the request for proposal had come, and it was actually in a spam folder. So, and when you got it, you call the client immediately, or the company that had applied. You call them and you told them, here is a Digital for Africa. We do what you want, and we are interested, and we will send our proposal. We discovered that thing the same way in one of our clients, an insurance company. We were having a meeting, and when I told them about the experience of an RFP we had won recently, they went to their spam folder right there and then, and they discovered a similar thing, a very important request for proposal from a company coming from Middle East. I think it was Saudi Arabia. And when they look at the value of the transaction, they talk about 40 million. It's a massive transaction, and they would not have gotten it right were it not for that human being who got an insight that there are times spam emails or servers, basically your Gmail or any email hosting server that you have, can filter emails and send them by mistake to the spam folder. So, and the point here is, despite the growth of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and automation in digital advertising, and even programmatic ads, you still need a human being who will see something that a system could not see, because a human being has more context, has more empathy, and you are able to say something and take action. And we got that tender just because Caleb found a massive RFP. And when we asked the client, how did you, or why did you choose Digital for Africa? They told us many companies. They had sent it to more than 10 companies, and most of those companies did not respond to the RFP. Only Digital for Africa sent the RFP. But the RFP had been taken by our email system. We use Zoho into the spam folder until Caleb discovered it and moved it into the inbox, called the client and told them, we are interested in doing business. And then we went to pitch, we sent our proposals, and we got the contract. So the truth is, despite the power and sophistication that comes with machine learning, artificial intelligence, programmatic ads on Google and Facebook and all that, and all these platforms we have seen, they are really going very strong on marketing automation. You know, they want to run your budget very quickly. They are doing everything in automated way, and we have even seen Instagram and TikTok and even Twitter, you know, being driven by what you call algorithms, or a system that discovers what content people want to engage in and prioritizes and puts it at the top, and that disadvantages a lot of people who may not have a lot of engaging content, and their content is not going viral. So despite all that automation and all that machine learning and artificial intelligence, you need a human being who has empathy, and empathy means you have feelings, you have context, you have self-awareness, and you are able to see this is a real business. It should not be in the spam folder, or something was taken to the inbox on Instagram and it is hidden and you cannot see it. Or, you know, if you have automated chatting on Instagram or WhatsApp, and WhatsApp is not able to see the exact context that the customer is actually asking. In fact, from my experience, I've seen businesses are actually automating a lot of things, but customers want actually to talk to a real person. You can give me the basic information, but when I have a problem, when I call Safaricom or when I call Digital for Africa, I want to talk to a real human being. Yes, so Caleb, that's in a smaller and shorter way, that's how it is.
Yeah, that's very true. Thank you, thank you. I can see also in our chat sessions we have Sam Dichu, who explains that Som is a short form of Somalia, and he's a wine expert. So welcome on board, Sam. It's very a delight to have you here with us. We also have Esther Eliud, who has also joined us. It would be good to tell us where you are joining us from. And I think we'll move on to the first question, Francis. Uh, Say so Consultancy. They are asking that yes, we have said that a website is a very powerful tool, but how then do you build trust, and how do you improve on these tips in order for you to make that website a tool that will bring about conversions and lead people to do business with you?
Yeah, that's a brilliant question, and I will respond in this way. A website is a technology platform. It doesn't have life. It's just like a Facebook page or an Instagram page or a TikTok page. It doesn't have life. The life of a website comes from the content and the relevance of the content to your target audience. So if you build up a website today and it doesn't have information that is answering the question that the customer has about your business, it will not give you any conversion. Just as a Facebook page or an Instagram page without content being churned on a daily basis, people will not be able to do business with you because they feel, oh, they don't even update their Facebook or their Instagram, so they may not be legit. So content builds trust because people are able to see your expertise and your authoritativeness. They are able to see what you have done. And the best way, in fact, in my speaking notes today, the main point was create the show me, don't tell me type of content. And I'll be giving an example by showing a small clip by what I mean by that. Instead of just saying create content, create content, create content, what type of content are we going to create? The truth is we need to create content that shows me what you do and how you do it and the impact of that, instead of telling me many things that do not earn my trust. So if you build a website, showcase what you have done. How many companies have you serviced? If it is a product, show me the product and show me how it works. Show me, for example, if you look at Nike, Nike is one of the best companies in the world that we can learn about advertising. Nike does not tell you they have the best shoes in the world. Nike will show you a picture of Kipchoge Keino running wearing a Nike shoe. And there is no caption, there's nothing. Just Kipchoge running and winning a marathon and breaking a world record wearing a Nike shoe. That's how digital marketing should be. Instead of just telling me a lot of things, just show me. And let me explain by what I mean by that. If you'll allow me, Caleb, to share my screen again. And my colleague Brian, who is the head of tech, I'm sure is here. He has more credibility and authority to talk about this, but I can talk about this as well because when we started Digital for Africa, we never used to get clients from the website. So to answer the person who has asked, how are we able to build credibility on our website? In fact, someone asked me that question the other day and I told them, the best way I can answer your question is to for example, when we claim we do web design, how are we able to sell web design as an agency? So I'm opening a typical web design landing page. You can see, instead of saying we can build the best websites in Kenya, we have a website from Naivas that we have built, and we are able to provide even a link. We have a website from Nation that we have built, and we are able to provide a link. And when you go to the website, you are able to see the website exists and it is live and it is working, and you can find all types of information on the website. If it is, for example, the recently completed project, which is Africa Legal Network, you are able to open the link and see for yourself, oh, you can say you can build an event landing page. Here is one from Africa Legal Network, built by Digital for Africa. So you can see, so instead of saying we are the best in this, just show me what you've done and I will be persuaded. So this is an example of a landing page with websites we've built. Another one is the case studies. If you go to case studies, for example, because as we don't sell digital we don't sell physical products that are tangible. We sell consultancy and services that are very, very hard to sell. So the best way we normally market ourselves is to showcase what we have done. For example, when we claim we have done trainings, someone will want to know, who have we trained? If you came to our clients list, you will see we've done training for Kenya Power Pension Fund, Unga Limited, Mwalimu National Sacco, County Pension Fund, the Post Bank, Kenya Bankers Association, and many other organizations, including SMEs. We have been able to service them. So the best way to answer the question from you, the person who asked, was it SEISO?
Yes, SEISO
Yes,
Consultancy.
SEISO Consultancy. So that's the best way. Demonstrate your capability. Don't say it with so many words. Show it visually. You can show it using a video. You can show it using images. You can show it using evidence. Show me the evidence of work that you've done that demonstrates your capability and credibility, and I will be persuaded. Yes.
Okay, that's very good. Thank you for that. Moving on, we also have questions that are pre-filled by people who are registered to join us, and one of them was Glory Wamboi, who is a student, and she had a question for you, and it reads: with social media right now, how important is it to use influencers in your business marketing?
That's a brilliant question. Who asked it?
It was Glory Wamboi.
Gloria. I'm a Glory.
Glory.
Glory. Glory, the truth is, in a digital advertising toolkit or a marketer's advertising toolkit, there are so many tools within that toolkit. Consider a mechanic when he wants to fix a car. He has to work with a toolkit that has a spanner, that has a ball, that has different types of tools that he can use or she can use to fix the problem. That's how I also consider digital advertising or marketing and sales in general. There are so many tools that are available for a marketer or a business owner. All you need to ask yourself is, which tool should I use at what point? So influencer marketing is one of those tools within a marketer's toolkit. And what I mean by that is, you don't 100% rely on influencer marketing. We know it is effective if it is implemented well. And even to pull some data that I have from the research that I did, and which all of us should be able to get access to, I created a formula of identifying the right influencer for what type of campaign. Allow me to pull that influencer marketing asset that I created, and then I believe we should share it with our fans, the people who came for and signed for this webinar, so that they can see the framework that they can use to determine. So, and Glory, the answer, the truth is, you can use influencers, yes, but influencers are not the same. They are not the same in terms of the size of their followers. There's an influencer with 1 million. Yeah, they can give you very good brand awareness, but they may not give you a lot of conversion. You may find an influencer who has 10,000 followers on Instagram, but the engagement on their content is very, very high. So you need to choose an influencer based on a number of things. The size of their audience is one of them, but also the audience that they follow. Who do they influence? Do they influence mothers mostly, who are above 35 years and above? Which means a young person who is in 24-year-old, who is 24 years, may not be influenced by that same influencer. They may be influenced by a TikToker, someone who creates content on TikTok. So the truth is, Glory, you need to have a formula for choosing an influencer. Don't just look at the size of the audience. Look at the audience that influencer commands. They command influence for who? Even a pastor has an influence. They have an influence over the church. We've seen politicians working closely last year with churches or bishops so that they can have influence on voters' minds. So, and I think that's a strategy we have seen, but also it can be deployed by businesses. So you need to make a decision on which influencer you will use based on a formula, which the research that I did covers in detail. So, and if maybe I'm not sharing my screen, I should share it so that you can see a snippet of what I'm talking about. It's not just things that have come, to just talk about. These are things that I have been researching for many, many years. So you can see this, who is a social media influencer, the types of influencers. We have nano, micro, and macro, and mega, and you can see all these, the different types of benefits for using influencers, for example, getting engagement, awareness, driving traffic to your website, growing your online following, getting backlinks. There are the influencers who have blogs. They create blogs and they can drive a lot of traffic to your website. So there is a science and a formula which I have put in this document. You can see you need to match your audience with the right influencer based on who they influence. So there is a formula and there is a science, and I have put it in that document, so that someone who is interested, how do I choose? I have two influencers. Do I choose this one or this one? What's the metric? Is there a formula? Is there a recipe? Yes, there is a formula and there is a recipe.
That's true. Thank you. I think that covers it broadly and extensively. I also see people who are also streaming in. Brian, welcome. Thank you for the comment. You're saying amazing work. Also, we have Licky, who is saying a very, very, very informative sessions. I can also see Esther Elliot, who has asked a question, but it's not clear. So, Esther, if you are listening, kindly elaborate more on the question, because as it stands, she's asking, what about us who sell products? Does it work similarly? What
Yes,
exactly?
I think I get what Esther is talking about.
Okay. Yeah, sure,
There could be
sure.
someone who is not selling a service like Digital for Africa. So they're selling a product.
A product,
For
yeah.
example, let's say they're selling honey, or they're selling
That's true.
an iPhone, or they're selling a laptop, or they're selling a carpet, or they're selling peanuts, or they're selling cereals.
Yeah.
So if you're selling a tangible product, there is not so much difference in terms of how you build trust. Remember we said, Esther, the biggest deficit that you have to overcome as a business owner or as a digital marketer is the lack of trust on digital platforms. And the way you build trust is by creating content. And let me show you, I had said I can share a specific example of a business that I personally feel they're doing very well because of how they are creating content that resonates, the content that I'm calling show me, don't tell me type of content. So allow me for a sec to share my screen. If Caleb, you are able to see my screen, let me know.
Yeah, it's loading up.
So yeah, so this brand, it's a Kenyan gifting company. They're called Papink Gifts. Let's even watch the type of content they have created without even. Where is my audio?
It's a video of somebody arranging the gift. So they are showing how they do it.
Yes. So you can see I was doing my own analysis in terms of the types of content that this company has been doing in the recent past, because they are not our clients, but I can tell you they are doing well in terms of sales because of the type of engagement they are creating.
Yeah.
And the reason why they are finding a lot of success, that specific video I've shown you, it has received more than 20,000 views. It has been viewed by more than 20,000 people in Kenya. And that tells you there's a lot of interest in the show me, don't tell me type of content. They would have said, oh, we normally sell the best gifts in Kenya, but instead of telling me this, instead of telling us that they sell the best gifts in Kenya, they just show me how they do it, how they do the packaging. They are very deliberate, very methodical, very structured, they think a lot about how they package your gifts. They put a lot of detail. There's a lot of detail in terms of the design and even the placement of the chocolate on that small box, the packaging, and how it is done. So that's an example, a perfect example of a company that's not selling services like Digital for Africa. They're selling products, physical, tangible products that you can see and touch and smell. And that's how it's supposed to be done.
Yes. Okay, thank you, thank you. I think that answers it for you, Esther. And if it's not clear, you can continue. So she's saying, I think she has followed up with a question. I meant website to use for product, is it going to be designed the same way as one for service, especially a lot of showing, i.e., the visuals?
So the truth is, Esther, I would want the product that you sell, because even the company that I've just shown, they also have a website. But the truth is, you need to demonstrate, to show people how your product works. You can show the products. For example, the same company we've just talked about, I am actually on their website as we speak, and I'm able to see the products they are selling. So the truth is, Esther, no matter what you're selling, just show people what you sell and explain to people how that product will benefit them. You can see if it is flowers for papink.co.ke. You can see the flower, the photo there, it is there. Gifts for a lady, gifts for him, hampers. So if we clicked on hampers, you're able to see the specific types of hampers and the price, 8,500. They haven't sponsored me to talk about it. I just am inspired by their work, and I believe they are doing well. And if they continue doing this, they will be positioning themselves as one of the best gifting companies in Kenya because of their attention to detail, how they market. They are doing a great job at how they market. Mostly it's not what you market, it's how you market. In fact, the other day, Caleb, I don't know whether you're aware of a story that was trending on social media.
Yeah.
There's a guy who had been hired as a marketing and sales executive of a leading car dealer in Kenya, in Nairobi. He was selling cars like crazy. But it turns out they fell out with the owner of the business, the main shareholder of the company. I don't want to mention his name, but I have been following him a lot. And I also wanted to study why they fell out, how they fell out, and his life after they fell out. I discovered that when he left that company that I don't want to mention, they're just a car dealer. They import premium German machine cars here in Kenya. They import and sell. So they sell high-end cars. He was the one who was driving a lot of sales in that company where he had been employed. So when they fell out with the owner of the business and he was kicked out, and the owner even puts some very big disclaimers online telling people, don't touch this guy. We have fired him. He's not part of us. If you buy a car from him, we will not be liable. So he really exposed him in a very negative light, as if he had stolen anything, and yet there was nothing like that, at least by the information we see online. But the truth is, when this guy left his employer and he started his own dealership, he started from scratch. When I look at the transformation, he's actually doing better than where he was employed. And the previous company where he was employed, actually they are doing very badly. When I look at their Instagram, when I look at their website, there's no engagement. They're just putting photos. They are not. So, but in this young man's new company, he shows you when he's in Japan. He shows you a photo when he's negotiating with the Japanese, when he's talking to them and they're having a conversation on different yards in Japan or in different parts of the world. He documents that whole journey, and he shows you when the car has arrived in Kenya. And he takes you the experience of driving the car. So he will show you when he's inside. He will show you how the car, is good with all types of features. So, and when I look at it, I can tell you for a fact, because I've been studying marketing for a long time, it is his marketing that was actually driving sales on the other side. And right now, he's doing better than where he was, because he just now put everything, every coin. I follow him on Instagram. I don't want to mention it, but the truth is, he's doing a great job. And the differentiation is not the product. You know, the product is not the difference. They're selling the same cars that he was selling from his previous employer. So he now differentiated himself by doing it better in terms of how he markets it. Yes. You are on mute, Caleb. Just check your mic.
Thank you for that, sir. Thank you. I can see time is running up and the questions are so many. So I believe we'll be able to cover some as they come in. But allow me to group a question that has come from different audience, but it's similarly asking for the about the same thing. And this is about uh, from Catch. The first one is from Catch, who says that hello, he's glad to join us, and he's saying that he shares an ad, and it ends up getting the wrong kind of audience. So that is the first angle. Then we have another one from does advertising, that is from Rose Wally. So the first one was from Catch. He's saying that he has done an ad but attracting the wrong audience. Then Rose Wally had also asked, does paid advertising increase the number of followers? Or does paid advertising increase your conversion at the very end? And then also similarly to that is that from Ruth Kimasan, who had asked that how do you tailor your advert to attract a potential buyer? So it's the same question around advertising, but different approach. I hope you've gotten it. Thank you.
Yes, I have gotten it. The truth is, Catch, when you create an ad and you're getting the wrong type of customers, it could be because your message did not resonate with the ideal audience. That's the first part. But the second part could be maybe your targeting was wrong in terms of how you set up the targeting options, whether it is Facebook or Instagram or Google. The best way I can help you is you gave me access to your advertising platform that you use to create the ad. I can be able to audit it and give you specific feedback. But in general, the best way to think about advertising, and I can say this with a lot of authority, pricing is a way of telling potential customer the kind of customer you are looking for. Don't be shy to show the price of your product. And even if you don't want to say specifically the amount, you can say from 1,000 shillings to 2,000 shillings. So you're creating a room and a leeway for you to make any adjustment just in case there is some variance. But the truth is, Catch, message is key. Your design, did it capture the right type of audience? Did you appeal? Which photo did you use? Is it appealing to the mass market, or is it appealing to the middle class, the niche type of audience? So the image matters, the message matters, pricing matters, because when I see, for example, the young man who is a car dealer, when I see the types of cars he's selling, 4 million, 8 million, 10 million, that pricing tells you or tells the potential customer, I'm not dealing with the Toyota X Japan cars that go for 1.1 million or 1.5 or 2.5 million. He's not selling the premiums of this world. He's selling a Mercedes. He's selling a premium brand. And the way he has differentiated himself is by putting a price. So when you go to his business, you can see he's very clear on the pricing, and the pricing cuts off so that you will not find someone saying, oh, I'm looking for an XUK, X-Japan car that goes for 700,000. So pricing has been a way of filtering off the unwanted customers. or the customers that you don't want to appeal to. But if you came, I'll encourage you, Catch, to come for our digital for Africa masterclass. We have masterclasses every month. Oh, this is Francisca.
Yes,
Okay.
Francesca.
Yes. The truth is, if you're doing an ad and you're attracting the wrong type of audience, it could be you're targeting as well in terms of location. Are you targeting people from the right location? But I would want to really audit your ad set and look at the images that you used, the targeting options that you set, the interests and the behaviors, the location that you used, the pricing of your product. Have you explicitly said how much you charge so that you turn off the people who are not your ideal customer?
Thank you, thank you. So that was the first angle. The second one was, does paid advertising increase your number of followers? I
The
believe
truth is, advertising increases your followers. Advertising exposes your brand, your company, your business, your product to customers who don't follow you. So it will grow your followers, it will increase engagement, and it will increase sale. The question is how you do the advertising. For example, let me give you a perfect story. We have a client I don't want to mention because the strategy I want to share with you is what has actually grown their Instagram account. When they do ads just to boost a product, they get a lot of engagement, and of course they normally sell. And you, Caleb, are aware about this client, but from our meetings with them, we learned that when they do an ad to promote their followers on Instagram, they normally see more engagement and more sales. Not a typical ad promoting. There is a role for promoting a product, but here I'm talking about promoting your Instagram to grow your fan base, to increase your followers. It has a lot of impact in terms of sales because you are reaching people and telling them, pay attention to my brand, here is what we do, you know. So if you have never done that, I would encourage you to do that. And if you struggle to do that, and you have to do that using your mobile application on Instagram, not on your desktop, so that you can boost your Instagram page to grow an audience so that you can get more engagement and more sales.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. I believe that covers it. Also, we have a question from Ziada Abeid from Tanzania, who is a communications consultant. And the question is says that many tour companies in Tanzania, they have website, but they rely on word of mouth or referees in order for them to get business. So he's asking how can he help the tour and hospitality companies to improve conversions in their own digital platform. So this is a person who's not necessarily want to improve his, but he wants a way he can improve the entire general performance in a certain niche, which is the tourism industry in Tanzania.
Okay, I think I know Ziada Abeid. She's one of my students who joined our masterclass in 2015. The truth is, Ziada, the hospitality industry has gone through a lot of challenges because of COVID. And because COVID is now, well, you can say technically behind us, we are not hiding ourselves in rooms and with a lot of masks. So people have the freedom to move around. But the hospitality industry suffered a lot, including in Zanzibar, even in the coast in Kenya, Lamu and South Coast and Mombasa, and even here in Nairobi, all hotels were closed and all that, or tourists were not coming. And now we have seen tourists coming back. But the truth is, selling hospitality, like hotels, the best way to create content, in my view, I would really focus on the type of content that is being created. I have seen the hotels that are doing well in terms of boosting their businesses in the hospitality industry, specifically hotels, they showcase what we call, they sell the experience. If you took a photo of a room with a bed and some pillows, it doesn't communicate any emotion. There is no sale that will increase because you've shared a photo of a bed. But
That's
if
good.
you show me, you demonstrate the experience of sleeping in that room so that I feel like I'm already there, because you have maybe recorded a short video clip of 60 seconds and showing me um, how far the room is, a specific room is, to the beach, for example, the view from the room you're selling to the beach and how that whole landscape looks like, or you are demonstrating how you get into the room, how you get into the bedroom, and the type of facilities that enhance the experience. Maybe you're showing me some massage happening, you're showing me some sauna. So you're showing me an experience, you're selling me an experience rather than the product. In fact, we did a training master class the other day with some people who are in the hospitality industry, and we were just teaching them what I'm talking about today. We told them, and they are very big. They have a presence here in Nairobi, in Mombasa, and many parts of Africa. They are not just in Kenya. And you told them, if you just show us the hotel, you are showing it as the drone with a photo of a drone, a photo taken by a drone of the hotel. It doesn't capture a lot of emotion. You need to don't show us the building only. Show us the experience. Sell the experience. Show me the types of people who are there. How are they feeling? If you're appealing to parents, are you showing kids having fun and a parent relaxing next to a swimming pool or next to a beach, and the children are being taken care of? There's a lot of safety. What are you selling? So sell the experience, communicate the experience, record videos showing the experience rather than showing me just a bed. There's a role for the bed, yes, but it matters how it is being done. So in my view, I'll really look at or audit or evaluate the types of content that this hotel is creating. Are they long videos? If you do a 45-minute video, even your family member cannot watch you for 45 minutes speaking. They will get bored, with the viral content that we have on TikTok and Instagram. There's a place for shorts. Even YouTube has shorts where you create a 35 seconds video clip that shows me the hotel, the room, kids playing. Show me the experience using short, rich media and distribute it as far as you can.
Yes, thank you. I think because you have just mentioned shorts, there is Catherine who had asked that how does TikTok compare to other social media platforms for advertising one's services?
That's a brilliant question. The truth is, there isn't one channel. Just as I said when we started, TikTok is one tool that is available in a marketer's toolkit. You don't rely 100%. You don't build your business around one tool. There is a risk. For example, there are a lot of conversations about TikTok being suspended as a platform in the US because it's a Chinese company, and they mine a lot of data about the whole world other than China. So there are political issues and regulatory government-related risks into putting all your eggs in one basket. So I would encourage you to diversify. So TikTok is one channel, one tool in a marketer's toolkit that is good for authentic content, fun, happiness, something that is creative, something that is authentic, that shows, the creative side of a human being, the vulnerability of a human being. But the truth is, you don't rely on TikTok alone. You can use TikTok for brand awareness, for people to know who you are and what you do. And then what do you do with that traffic, all those impressions and all those views? You should ask yourself, how do I push my TikTok audience to my website or to my WhatsApp, so that
That's
we can do conversations and do sales there. So, and this is a philosophy or a big idea at Digital for Africa. If you went to Google or Facebook for a training, they will just talk about their platform. Google will tell you, buy ads on Google, put your money on display ads. If you go to Facebook, they tell you, put your money on Instagram and Facebook, they're the best. If you go to TikTok, they tell you, put your advertising revenue or your advertising budget on TikTok. At Digital for Africa, the reason why we are different is because we tell businesses the real truth. Don't use one tool and overuse it, because there is a weakness in building an edge on one area. When that edge is affected, your entire business model collapse. A good example, there's a lady I was teaching at St. Onome some 3 or 4 years ago. She told me, you know what, Mwalimu? Me, I created a Facebook audience. I built an audience of 600,000. And then a young man I was working with, and I had given them access, and I gave them admin access instead of editor. They removed me, and they took over the Facebook, and they killed my business, and then my business died like that. So you can see the risk of just putting everything on one channel. So even at Digital for Africa, we are very open-ended. We even teach people to use events, attend that event, attend that webinar, attend that physical event, interact with people. We also teach people to sell using the traditional ways of selling, because we don't want to overemphasize on one tool. We are like 360 marketing solution that blends digital to experiences, and even the traditional media. For example, there are clients, we can advise them, we need to create an article and push it on the Business Daily. We need to have you interviewed on Nation, or we need you to have interviewed on KTM, depending on the type of audience we are targeting. So we look at 360, we look at your business in 360 perspective, but also we come up with 360 kind of solution. Because if we just told you put your money on TikTok, and then something happens on TikTok, then we know we will have misadvised you. So we, even us, we do webinars, we do Facebook ads, we do Instagram ads, we attend events, we also talk to people, we pitch to people, we pitch companies physically with a laptop and a presentation, and we tell them what we do. So you have to be holistic. Don't be narrow-minded, or don't be biased towards one tool. And you will hear different people saying, oh, for me, TikTok works. I have built this multi-million business because of TikTok. But if you talk to them carefully, you'll realize that's not entirely true. It is partially true, but not entirely true. There could be other things that they are doing, but they are overemphasizing on the channel where they have the biggest audience. You will be shocked. This person has a massive following on Telegram with 10,000 followers and fans who follow him. And before he puts anything on TikTok or on Instagram, he puts it first of all on the Telegram channel, or on WhatsApp channel, or on email. We even emphasize on email and even SMS marketing. And we have deployed these strategies for our clients.
Yeah, thank you. I think also that drives to the next point. You've said, given an example of somebody who had grown one channel until it had reached 600 views. So the next question is from Elizabeth Wanjiko, who is a film and digital content producer. So her question is simple: How do I ensure you drive traffic to your YouTube, Instagram, TikTok? So she mentions various channels, which is good. And how then can you package your content to attract reaction, and in the end, conversion? I believe you have mentioned it during the webinar, but at least give us a brief summary on that. How do you package your content?
Well, there is a packaging of the content, yes, so that you focus on the experience and making people feel nice about what you're offering them. But also, last year, towards the end of the year, without mentioning the company because of confidentiality, because they got a lot of success in this campaign, we help a company to do an ad on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, there were Google ads as well. But the truth is, there was an offer from a supplier. And the truth is, they were offering a hoodie. Who would assume, or who would know, that people will really be incentivized to buy a product if they get a hoodie? I'm not a big fan of hoodie. I think Caleb and my colleague Brian are the biggest fans of wearing hoodies. But the truth is, we even stopped the campaign within 10 days because we had exhausted the offer. So ask yourself, who asked that question, Caleb?
It was Elizabeth Wanjiko.
So Elizabeth Wanjiko, as you create your content and you package it so that you show the experience instead of just showing the product, consider also what will your audience get. Is there some competition? Is there some gamification? Is there a benefit they can get from your channel, from your YouTube, from your TikTok, from your whatever? So companies or brands or even small businesses that are able to offer giveaways, buy this product and then get this, they are able to increase engagement and a lot of interaction from customers. The truth is, if you just create content without creating some gamification, some excitement, and giving people something, human beings naturally, we focus on self-interest, what will I get? So the best way, Elizabeth, you can do, ask yourself, what can you give people? As you create your content, ask yourself on a daily basis, what am I giving my audience today? You can give them an insight. You can give them information. You can give them some premium content that is only accessible, like the reports I have shared today, or I have talked about today, the checklist and the formulas that I was talking about. I say it will not be accessible to everyone. It will only be access to people who fill the form. So that exclusivity increases loyalty and engagement. So the truth is, you have to have some creative ways of driving engagement. Engagement does not just come. Let me give Elizabeth the best case study. And allow me to do this, Caleb, within a minute. How many minutes do we have? I know we have few. We are
Yeah.
almost out of time. But I want to tell Elizabeth to study one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. Is called Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast is doing videos in the world more than anybody. When he does a video and he gets 50 million views, he has failed. That, according to him, is a failure. 50 million views is a failure. He is doing videos of 155 million, 127 million, 73 million, 67 million, 119 million, 109 million. But when you look at the big idea behind Mr. Beast, is that he uses gamification. And gamification means you're giving people an opportunity to compete for something. Like here, he's giving 1,000 people in the world, and it's not just Americans or British, it's a global campaign. This one that I'm currently pointing. Maybe I can mute it as it plays out. The truth is, he was giving 1,000 people free eye surgery. People who have never seen, people who have lost their sight because of one reason or another. And you can be sure there is someone sponsoring this kind of a thing. But the truth is, the idea of gamifying this competition and ensuring there is a fan who wins something has created world fame for Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast is doing very, very well. We have seen even Elon Musk, since he took off Twitter, he's now engaging Mr. Beast. And we may see Twitter doing more with Mr. Beast. I think I've made it clear that gamification, giving your audience something, changing people's lives, doing something that is very transformational, like restoring someone's eyesight, is a big deal, no matter how you look at it.
Okay. That's very clear. Thank you. Thank you for that. Also, this is a very interesting question from one of our recent graduates of our data analytics class, Zach Mayul. And his question is that how do you just a moment, let me Zach Mayul, how can I build an enticing sales activation? A sales activation that is enticing.
Okay, just do exactly what I've said. Bring some gamification into it. Let people compete over winning a prize or a product. When you gamify an ad, when you gamify a campaign, where you create exclusivity, you say it's not for everyone. Of course, we want everyone. We have seen in science, or when we study marketing psychology, when you limit the accessibility and availability of a product, it increases demand. So for example, when you say one person, like for Mr. Beast, it was 1,000 people will get their eyes operated and they'll get surgery for free. And they'll also get some money, some dollars for free. So everyone wants to be involved in such a campaign. You may not even realize it's a campaign and there is a sponsor and their goals are being met. So Mayul, for you to create a sales pitch or a sales campaign that can be effective, ask yourself from the beginning, I want to increase sales, yes, but what will be the thing that people will win? What will people win? And how many people will win? And how do you want to increase competition so that only a few will win? Because you cannot say everybody is a winner. It doesn't make business sense. So you need to ask yourself, what is in it for the customer, and how will you make it competitive so that it's very hard for someone to get that thing that you say. So when you limit availability, you increase demand. But essentially, when you make it harder for someone to get that thing, it becomes very interesting. If you look at the young people who are addicted to betting and all that, it's because they are told you will win something. You find them betting their salaries. I know that's not the best thing, but the truth is, the reason why they are going there is they are told you're gonna win something. So always ask yourself, Mayul, if I'm selling this product, what will the customer get? Don't just say, oh, you'll get a nice laptop, you'll buy a laptop with these features. No one cares about your features and your laptop. But tell them you will buy this laptop, but also you will get a free optical mouse, yeah, or you will get a free keypad, or 10 customers will get a free trip to Mombasa worth 15,000. So everybody will be involved in that campaign because they will win something.
That's very good. I think it also covers the next question from Jen Kimani, who says, what are some of the trends to use in advertising? I think gamification is one of them. If you have another one, Francis, you can mention. And she also continues to say that to make an advertising captivating and not so obvious that you're advertising, how do you do that? But I think gamification covers it. And but if you have any other alternative to advertising, any other tips that you might have?
Yes, I have one where instead of just gamification, you can also use what you call storytelling. I'm a huge consumer of YouTube myself. I love YouTube. I spend a lot of time on YouTube as a teacher, as an entrepreneur, as a business mentor. I consume content that is deeper rather than something that is shallow of 30 seconds. I want something that is deep, that gives me a lot of insight. So, and I've seen there are times when I'm on YouTube, I find some very, very good ads from some brands, because when I look at some of these ads, the reason why I'm even allowing it to run without skipping it is because there is a story. There is a transformation story. There is a life that has been changed. So if you use a story, a narrative, and show a problem, a solution, and the transformation of what happens. So you tell me a story. Maybe someone was vulnerable, someone was having a problem, and then you intervened, or the product was implemented, or you gave the product, and then this is how they are now after using your product. So that kind of a thing is very, very captivating. People pay attention to stories. People don't pay attention to just information. No one remembers facts and figures, but everyone remembers a story. So if you put a story, create a story around your business, around your product, around your campaign, you're going to sell more compared to someone who will just say, I'm the biggest, I'm the best. No one cares whether you're big or you're the best. They want to care what is in it for them.
Thank you. Thank you. Very clear and elaborate. So it still covers the next question. Esther Mwangi had asked, what are the key things one should focus on when doing digital marketing? I believe this question, Esther, has been answered. You can use gamification, storytelling, website, put trust elements on your website, and other things like that. But we are going back to one of our guests called Rose Wally. She had asked a question on paid advertising before, but right now she's asking, how do you approach related industries marketing partnerships without looking like you're competing. Let's say we have another advertising agency. We want to collaborate with them without that friction of we're in the same industry. I think that's
Yeah.
a good question.
The truth is, it's not easy to execute such a campaign or such a pitch or such a value proposition because if you're co-creating some value, unless you are very careful, there's a lot of information sharing when you are co-creating. And there's a lot of learning and also intelligence. You're learning a lot about how they do their things and all that. So without getting the specifics, I wish I had more specific information, which industry. But the truth is, you can never ignore the power of a competitor, you know.
Yeah.
So you want to co-create value with someone who is not targeting the same customers as you are. Because the moment you co-create value in the same area where the cake is the same, there is a risk of your own customers learning about your competitor, and they learn something that your competitor is offering that you don't do. So that's how I can answer it generally. But if I had more context and more information, I would have been more specific in my response. But in my view, I can tell you, you want to co-create value with people you know, you are complementing each other. For example, if you're selling land, let's say you're selling plots in Ruai or in Juja, if you co-create and partner with a microcredit or a SACCO or a bank, that's a relationship that it supplements each other. It's more of there's no competition. You are co-creating, you're serving the same customers, yes, but you are giving different types of value. So if you are in real estate and you're co-creating some value with a financial like a SACCO, a microcredit, or any lending company, that's a good partnership. But if you're selling land in Juja and you're co-creating something or doing a campaign together with someone selling the same piece of land not far from where you are, it means a lot of customers will leave you and go to the competitor. So even as a Digital for Africa, we partner with companies we know, we offer very different things, and we are supplementing each other. Like we partner with Nation a lot because what we are able to do, Nation is not able to do. What Nation can do, we don't have a TV like NTV. So we are not really competing, we are supplementing and co-creating and we are doing something that is not messing around with our customers so that they get confused. Partnerships are good because it's part of building trust and credibility, but it has to be really well thought out so that all your customers do not learn about your competitor and
And you
your
fail to
competitor
get the
runs
business.
exactly. Your
You're
competitor
building
runs with all your customers.
you're building conversions for your competitor instead for yourself. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
We are down to the last four questions. So the fourth place, it's Mwende Mutuko who is saying that it's a simple question. How do you protect your account from hackers?
That's a good question. 75%, you can reduce hacking on your Instagram or on your Facebook or your Gmail or even in your banking platform. In fact, banks don't allow you to transact if you don't have what you call two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication, and I can tell you this authoritatively because I worked as an IT manager for almost 10 years. It reduces hacking by 75%, just by ensuring when you log into an account, you send a code and then you enter the code so that it allows you to log in. It reduces hacking by 75%. But the truth is, two-factor may not be 100% sure proof. You still need to add more layers like using sophisticated passwords. Also, you can reduce hacking by ensuring you reduce the number of apps that actually use your Gmail or specifically the email that you normally use. The way you do that is in any application that you use, let's say Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, there is always a place for apps, connected apps. If you go there, a lot of hacking happens when you have connected so many apps to use your Gmail, and you are not really paying attention to these third-party apps, and there's always a risk one of those third-party apps may cease to exist, or it is hacked, and you are not aware. So you always need to check which apps have access to my Gmail, and you can do that by looking at, for example, if it is Twitter, you can go to Twitter and search for apps that use your email on Twitter or on Facebook or on Instagram, and you can deactivate and just leave as many few as possible, or ensure the ones that you really trust are the ones that are using your Gmail by default to log in. You know, the way you go to an account, like you're opening up a new account for something, and then they tell you, just log in using Twitter, or just log in using your Gmail. You don't have to remember your password again. So the more you do that over a long time, the more you forget that one app actually ceased to exist, and yet it still accesses a lot of data from your Gmail or from your Twitter account. So you need to delink. And I think that the person who has asked that, I can help them practically if they reach out to me, and we can be able to support them to add more layers.
Yeah.
Also, you can add another layer of security is to get a notification when a login happens in a device which you don't own. For example, myself, when I want to know whether someone has accessed a certain email for the company, I've set some notifications so that I get an email that this person tried to log in Instagram or in Mombasa. So I'll ask them, what are you doing in Mombasa? When I know it is not, they are not in Mombasa, I am able to know that is a hacking attempt, and
Yeah,
I'm able to take the remedial solution. Yes.
that's true. Thank you for that. Somewhere there, you can see Francis if you need further assistance. But also to add on what Francis has said, it's also good practice to be aware of phishing attempt. There are people who just send mails, emails, or messages that seem too enticing to be true. So be careful of what kind of messages you receive, and do not be limit yourself from opening links that you do not know the source from. That's also another way hackers can get to you. I think the third final question comes from Simon Diritu. It's a broad one, but I'm sure you'll be best to answer it. How to identify high demand products in online sales? It's a very broad question.
Okay, very broad. But in my view, the tools that I normally use is I normally use when I want to determine the demand of some of these products. I normally use Google Trends, which maybe I can even demonstrate practically. I use Google Trends. I also use Google Search, Google Keyword Planner to also assess the demand of a service or a product. So I'll use some of these tools practically. So let's say Google Keyword Planner, one of the best platforms for even predicting. It uses machine learning and artificial intelligence to predict how popular some of these products will be. Let me try to using an account. So you can use Google Trends, you can use Google Search, Google Keyword Planner. And specifically now I'm logging into Google Keyword Planner. Let's say I want to sell a product like a laptop. So I can say, I can look backwards, like 2 years ago or 1 year, or I can look forward. So I can discover new keywords, or I can do volume forecasts. For example, we did this for a company, and we discovered for them, wines, they sell wines, and we discovered wines sell more in December maximum. You know, the biggest sale happens, or their peak in terms of sale, it happens in December. So you are able to understand that by using this tool called the Keyword Planner. It has the forecasting capability, so that you are able to see the average monthly searches that this keyword is getting. And it's not just products like wines, it's also products, any product that you're selling. You can always measure the demand, and you can compare wine with what? You can add the other competing product that you are thinking of selling. But let me try with an area. I'm not a wines person, but let me choose something that I'm passionate about. For example, technology. Let's say even something like laptops. And specifically, we could say Lenovo, Lenovo laptops. We could compare Lenovo laptops with an HP laptop. Yeah, and also they normally want you to choose a group. I've just chosen. I could also choose Apple. I know they call them MacBooks. I'm not a Mac expert. So if you're very clear about the type of MacBook, maybe you think about MacBook Air. So you can enter all the competing products in that category, and you are able to analyze this data. By the way, this data is downloadable in a CSV file. You can download it as a Google Sheet, and it is able to tell you on average per month. And you can even go, this is now, remember, we are forecasting. To measure the demand of this product over some time to come. So you are able to come specifically and measure. For example, if you come here, we are forecasting to see the demand for these products. So you can see there are products, and these different products are being searched differently. The number of times they will be searched, or the number of times they will be served. So you can see there is one that has about 5,500. There's another one that has 496. There's another one. So you are able to make a determination, and you can even see the click-through rate here. So you have the impression here, but here you have the click-through rate. So you can compare a number of things. So you have to look at the product and compare the different types of demand, the clicks, the impressions that they will get in the coming. And Google also gives you the cost, the estimated click-through rate. It even gives you the estimated conversion rate. And today we are talking about conversion rates. And I'm happy we can see this. Remember, this is forecasting. It is telling us, for example, this product will get a conversion rate of about 2.16%, which is very impressive. So this is the way you can do it. The other way you can do it is you can just now go looking back. HP laptop. You need to have the specific name of the product, for example, for it to make more sense. Rather than just searching for HP laptop, you can be specific by the specific laptop. But let me just be broad, HP laptop. Maybe I'm just comparing laptops based on brand. So there's Lenovo. I personally am a Lenovo fan. Dell laptop. So here we are looking data from behind. So you can do in data analytics, you can look back or you can look in future. So Dell laptop, and then we can also compare with MacBook. There are still people who call MacBook laptops just laptop without the details or whether it's a MacBook Air or whatever. So we are able to compare that, and we are able to download this data. And you can say how many years going back, maybe in the last 2 years, we are able to pull that data to see which one has more demand. We are able to download this data, put it on Google Sheet, and analyze that data so that you get more insight. And it will create a report and give us that insight. But the big idea is, Caleb, you are able to measure and see what is going down. You can see like HP, this type of laptop has gotten less. It has gone down by about 90%. Yeah, so you're able to compare the different types of brands or products, and you're able to see the demand in the last 3 months or in the last 1 year. And you are able even to compare and make a determination on where you should be putting your money. For example, this Dell XPS, it has grown in the last year on year by 900%. There's another one here, HP Envy, grown by 900%. There's a Lenovo IdeaPad, has grown by 900%. So you are able to allocate your money accurately based on where the demand is. This is actual Google data looking at what Kenyans are looking for, what is trending, what people are interested. So you can see some products have gone down by less than 100%, like this one specifically. So even in terms of the specific searches, only 50 searches in the last 2 years. Yet there are others who are getting averagely per month 5,000 searches. I know, Caleb, we don't have enough time, but if our participants can come for our masterclass, these are the things that we teach in our masterclass. And we have a training coming next week on Thursday and Friday. We can go depth, and we can look at your business. We can audit your advertising platform. We can audit your business, your website. You can look at the data that you have. You can use the tool that you have. Do you have HubSpot? Which tool are you using for advertising or for collecting data? We are able to assist you at a personal level because our training comes with mentorship, 30 days of mentorship. So we're able to specialize. Instead of giving you generic feedback, we are able to look at your business specifically.
Somebody says they love the question and they love the response on how to identify high demand products. You can join us for our masterclass, as Francis has mentioned, where we'll go in depth and continue to learn more. So the second last question that came in for you, Francis, is from Pauline Rutere. I hope I'm saying that very name correctly. She is a social media executive, and her question is, it was one of the last two came, but also I love that it is it is in that position. And she asked that how can you deal with number one redundancy, and how can you deal with a market that keeps moving from passive to active, passive to active.
The truth is, we are living in a world where change is a new constant.
Yeah,
2
true.
years ago, there was no company called ChatGPT that can help you create some articles or help you to do research. And now it is there, and Google within the next 6 months, it is being said that they will introduce a more superior platform for that kind of a thing. So the truth is, there is no industry that is stagnant. The real estate is changing. The retail business is changing. People who are in digital agency, everything is changing. Even website development standards are changing. Web design standards are changing. So the truth is, you shouldn't be scared by change. Actually, you should be ready for change because things will always be. If you are not changing, it means there's something wrong with you. Even the way you were last year is not how you are today. So be open-minded in terms of change and be ready to face challenges. But when it comes to redundancy, reach out to me. I'm interested in the skills that you have. At Digital for Africa, we provide internships as well. Other than training, we also mentor young people and give them advice. We did a webinar the other day with the University of Nairobi students, and we were advising them on the types of courses that they should be enrolling on. Instead of doing a course and then you leave the university and no one will ever use the skills that you have because they are not relevant to the market. So if you lost your job, I know it's painful. I'm very sorry about that. Be transparent about it. Talk about it. Tell your friends. Now you know Digital for Africa. Reach out to us and tell us, what are your skills? What are you able to do for us? Or what can we do together in terms of serving humanity and making the world a better place?
Thank you for that. I think we should have also one of these fine days we do a webinar on how I came on board to Digital for Africa. It would be a very LinkedIn, and it's something that I believe, Francis, with your permission, you can organize and have a session like that. So the very last question is from Esther Elliott. Just give me a moment. Actually, people are very active on our chat, which is very good. We have. Let me read a few comments from people who are live. We have internal piece that he says, "Hey, I'm Kennedy. Great platform for learning digital marketing. Good job. We should have such sessions often." We also have Wendem Tuko says that, "Thank you for answering my question and it was an enlightening session. But the question I'd like you to answer right now is from Esther Elliott, who had asked about Instagram. Just a moment, I trace the question. She asked, "How do I create a shop on Instagram?" And I think to elaborate it further is that we have so many platforms. We have Shopify, we have WooCommerce, we have different kind of online platforms where that allows you to sell your products. So how does one get to choose the best platform that works for them in their product?
Okay, Esther Elliott, karibu sana. Thank you for your question and being very engaged. I think specifically what you are interested is how do you create a shop? Instagram allows you, if you have physical, tangible products, not services, of course, physical, tangible products, you are able to create a merchant or a shop where people can see the product and they can actually check out without having to go to our website. So, Esther, I'm willing to do that for you. We can do that, assuming you have a product that you sell, a physical product that someone will get when they buy. So it is possible. You just use the same Instagram to do that, but I can guide you specifically on how to do that specifically, and it will have a lot of value for your business. There are products that you cannot sell to a shop on Instagram and even Facebook. There are products that are not allowed because of policy and all that. So I'm interested in knowing what product are you selling. But if you're selling products that can be used by anybody, like laptops or retail products, it's very easy. You can create that account. By the way, Google also has that. They call it Google Merchant account. But for Google Merchant, it relies on data from a website. But for Instagram, you don't have to have data from a website. You just upload your catalog, your products, your images, the descriptions. So there is that. But I'm interested in knowing your product. If you reach out to us, I can give you an audience of maybe 15 minutes tomorrow, and we can guide you in doing that.
Is tomorrow Friday, right?
Yes, tomorrow is Friday.
So what time? Esther has asked. Tomorrow, what time?
So you will you'll get contacts from our website and call us, and they can give you my contact, and we can talk about your business. And creating just a shop is not enough. You need to know how to increase trust on the shop. You need also to increase accessibility of your product. How will people get your product when they have paid? How will it be delivered? So that is an important part of advertising. People think you create ads and miracles happen. There's nothing like that. Think about marketing as an end-to-end experience. I go to your Instagram, I see your product and catalogs. I check the brand. Can I trust this brand? Is it a new brand? Have I heard about it? Have I ever seen it? If I don't trust it, I just leave it and I move to a brand that I am familiar with. But the truth is, you need to increase awareness about your business so that people can trust it, but also consider marketing as a journey, as an end-to-end experience where people buy from people or companies that they can trust. But also ask yourself, how do you build trust? You can build trust by ensuring when you sell a product, you deliver what you sell. You don't sell fake products, sell quality products, so that you build trust in that way.
That's very key. I think that wraps up the Q&A session, and from the comments and from the feedback people are bringing in, they're saying that it is a very informative session. We have even people saying that you should not be afraid of change and things like that. But one last one that I'd like you to cover is one from Seiso Consultancy, where they're saying, if someone books now for the by the way, we have an upcoming masterclass that will run from the 9th to 10th of February. That's next week, and you can book it. You just go to our website and go to our under training and choose masterclass, and then you can get to book, fill the form, and our content lead will get back to you. But the question is, if someone books now, will they get a discount? And
Yes, we
something.
will offer a discount to people who have participated in this webinar. We will give you, if, for example, a training costs 17,000, we can save you some money, give you a 10% discount if you attended this training or any of our services. For example, if consultancy goes for 2,500, we can shave off 500 and give you it at 2,000. So reach out to us if you came for today's webinar, and tell us what you want. Do you need a website? Do you need a training? Do you need consultancy? Do you need support? What do you need? Do you need an audit? Maybe you can audit your website, or audit your social media, or audit your TikTok or your Instagram, and give you feedback. So depending on what you're reaching out for or what you're interested, we are able to give you a discount. I'm sure Anita would have given us a better number specifically, but I'm not able to see her. But all of us who have come, if you reach out to Digital for Africa and we see you are in our list of people who had filled a form to attend the webinar, we will give you a substantial discount, so that from 5,000 and above, depending on the service. But just know you'll get a discount. I may not have the number specifically, but I'm sure it could be above 10%. Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. Finally, as we conclude, remember that if you haven't filled the form that was previously sent, probably you got a link from your friend to that there is this webinar happening somewhere, and you wanted to join. Remember to fill the form in order to get the forms. And last but not least, you can follow this link. That is www.digitalforafrica.com/masterclass to register for our upcoming masterclass, and we will be looking forward to see you there. So until our next webinar, I have been your host, Caleb Mutemi. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye. Have a lovely night and day if you are in another time zone. Thank you. Adios.